Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Timberborn Z, where the first bad tide is approaching. It's almost here, but I think we're well prepared for it. We got an irrigation pond. We've got water for the irrigation pond. Probably don't have enough water stored up for everything quite yet. Probably not enough to keep that irrigation pond constantly filled. But we've got enough in here to actually keep it filled for the duration so that we can actually get enough foodstuffs to continue to live off of during the first bad tide. And we have plenty of storage going in. It's just a matter of getting enough lumber to go into building that storage. And that is what we're waiting on right now. I think we just got the notification about a few seconds ago, so let's go ahead and pop back out. Oh, disregard. We've got 2 days left to build up the rest of this, and I think I've already got these on pause. We need to max this out priority wise so that we can get these guys in here. We need to pump out as much water as we can because we don't have enough to keep this running, so that's not good. We're going to pause this one over here actually so that we can get science still moving for the most part, and we could probably get in here and even pause this guy. We have 100 units of grilled potatoes already. We have another 100 units of regular potatoes going. I want to get the stuff built as soon as possible so that we can actually store more water, because I want to be able to keep that moving. And our future irrigation ponds that we're going to put in, maybe up here, or maybe even, I don't know, probably up here. This is a nice spot to have irrigated. Actually, no, I don't want to do anything up here. That's right. We wanted to build a huge pond or pool up here, a lake, a nice lake up here to allow for water storage after we get all this in. So science-wise, we're moving in a positive direction. I still need another 254 more science to get to the point where we can start working on our bad tide diversion plan. Lumber is moving though, so that actually we should be able to build this pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and pause it. Let them get to work here. That leaves us with one science guy moving, which isn't bad. These two still just have one each. We do have storage down here for our potatoes and carrots, so that'll be good for them, make their lives a little bit easier as far as moving goods around is concerned. And we do have these two working up here. Now, we will have to turn this on over here. Let's plus up the work hours because we do need more water stored. We only have a day and a half available left to us, and I need this to be finalized yesterday, guys. Come on, we need that water. We need that water yesterday. We do not need anybody in there doing that, and we could probably pause this one. We don't need to be planting anything on that end for now. Probably pull this back to 1, and that's totally fine. That gives us one more builder, hopefully, to finish the last couple of these. We're on the last day before our first bad tide rolls in, and we should be able to pump a little bit more through the first day of the bad tide. I'm not concerned about leaving these going until it reaches the point where we can no longer pump. So that is totally fine. We do have this lumber being chopped down, which is quite helpful. That's probably where a fair portion of our lumber is coming from as it stands. I do need to turn this on sooner rather than later, but for now that'll have to do. Let's see here. What was the next thing that we needed to work on aside from science? We need planks, we need gears, we need gear storage, because I would like to actually be able to build our next tier of storage, which will be quite nice for us, which means we can clear out all of this big of a mess. I need to make sure I don't have any beavers going into any bad tide for now. I don't think we do. There's no one that should be going up here. I will cut this off just for reasons. That is moving. It's an 8-day bad tide. Oof. Okay. We have the water available to us for 8 days worth of a bad tide. We have just over 10 days worth, or we have 15 days worth of water available to us. This will keep all of this irrigated for a minute. We'll see how bad this gets. Yeah, I anticipated that. I did not anticipate losing all of that, though. Oh, boy. Okay, then. Well, that's stinky. Well, it's okay. It's just carrots. It stinks that we lost potatoes, but it will do. All of this is going to expire as well, but that's okay. We can pause these guys. I'll let them continue to pull up what is actually still alive for now, which isn't much. It's carrots, but it's still sustenance, so I'm not going to take that away from them. And y'all are doing nothing right now. Do think that we can probably pause you two and turn that on. And Jade's already in there doing Jade things, making planks for us. And now we can actually start thinking about getting up here. So we can do some proactive work on this end right here, which means getting up here and preparing for our levee laydown. Now this is going to consume a metric poop ton of our logs, which I'm not a fan of. However, it is necessary to do, at least as we prepare for the future. Now, I want to do something like this all along here. Like that. And then we want to do something like this. And then something like that. Now, that gives us an allowance to grab that, grab this, pull this all along back here, and then do something like that. Probably not put these two in quite yet. And I want to prevent any spillage potential by doing something like this. And probably just putting in one of our platforms right here. And that means putting in a levee on top of that platform like that. Now we could, in theory, just crawl down here, and that'll give them access to build up so we don't have to worry about them getting stuck, which I would like to do. So we'll go ahead and give this priority bump over anything else. And then probably drop this all priority wise, so they don't focus on that quite yet. Now we can make that path available to them for now, and we've got science available to us, and that is amazing. I do want to unpause this because I would like to get some of this irrigated so we can continue to get trees. Now, we lost all of these. I anticipated to lose a fair portion of these. I didn't think it'd go that far back. We do want to get to bad tide, and what are they called? The contamination barriers, but that requires metal blocks, and we do not have those available to us, which is stinky. All right, that's 120 science. Do we have? We don't have those going. Okay, you're paused so we can get more science moving, and y'all are doing nothing, so that means you're done. We can remove you, put you in over here so you can get that out of there, and that means that you two are also bored. It means we have 4 positions available, which means we can plus that up. That is going you have something to do now. It means you can plant that, that, and that. That isn't getting quite the irrigation that I'd like it to. Maybe we can put another irrigation pond back here, but we don't quite have the water available to us to do that. Let's unpause this side, get Cranky in there to do something productive with his life, and then we can unpause this so we can actually produce some of our potatoes again, so they don't just eat carrots and carrots alone. And we're kind of not doing the greatest on carrot production anyway. This guy is no longer needed here, so we'll go ahead and rip that out and replant that one thing of potatoes right there. Do that one right there as well, and probably plant all of this out to here. That should be fine, theoretically. Let's see. There's no point in doing anything over there. We could probably reclaim this real estate with all of our housing that we have up here, which would not be a bad idea, considering I want to use this area up here as farming land as well. But we are eating through our water something fierce, which means I need to pause you since that's already full. We've got 2 days left of this bad tide, which I do not like to see. We can go ahead. I don't need to put anybody into there. I do need to put somebody into here though, because that's about to run out of water, and that would kill off the last bit of our potatoes for us, and we don't want to see that happening, since that is our food source right now, or at least future food source. Now, what I should be focusing on is probably... All right, let's go ahead and start moving housing down here. So we got 4 up there, or 6 up there. Let's do 8. I think 8 is good. We'll get this all built. And we'll put this storage down here. So that will be, what do we have? Carrots, carrots, and then, so carrots, carrots, potatoes, and then baked potatoes, right? And I'm clicking those in inverse order, but it's fine. So that'll be that. And we can actually start maneuvering this elsewhere, probably over to here, since this is where the preponderance of our lumber is coming from anyway. But that is for later, I suppose. Let's see. We need water, and we need water yesterday. Let's see, what are our builders working on? They are building this. So we need to pause that, actually. So let's focus on this down here, guys. We don't quite have the lumber available to us to entirely be going ham on that quite yet. Now, they did get this in, so that is good. That is almost done, so that is fine. We could probably pull down the working hours a tad bit. And now we can swap back over to water procurement, because that is in dire need. Let's go ahead and unpause all of these, get all of our water back up and running. Probably drop this priority wise. Oh, I don't want to drop it entirely because I do want stuff to get done like this over here. So that's built, so we can pause one of these so we don't explode our population, which would be quite dangerous. We do not need to be exploding our population quite that heinously yet. We don't have the water storage capacity to actually meet that demand. We don't have the food storage capacity to meet that demand. We don't have the food production capacity to meet that demand either. So we want to avoid that for now. So that is in. That means you're paused now. So that's all those 3 positions. Sweet. probably go ahead and start tearing these out, giving us some lumber back, which will be helpful since we're almost out of lumber. And that will be fantastic. Okay, that is moving. That is great. We still need science. We have 697 science out of the 750 that we are in need of. Pull this down by 2. That'll get the science moving again. That'll be helpful. And that's what we want to see. That is definitely what we want to see there. All right, cool. 50 more science. Okay. I did not give them a path far enough to that one. So that's 6 or 5. Yeah, that's what we wanted. All right, one more spot left, and then it's expansion by 1, 2, 2. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, we're expanding housing by 2, which is okay. That'll explode the population a tad bit. Not exactly the best thing in the world, but it will do. Now I need this. Need lumber. There's lumber coming in from that, which is helpful. I can get up here. That's not much lumber. It's probably not worth the time or effort to get up there and do that yet. I do want to get up here. I want the metal because there's a lot of stuff that we need to do with the metal, but we're not quite there yet science-wise either. We need to prepare for the next bad tide. We have 1 injury. Again, I don't know what they're getting injured on. There's nothing that should be injuring them. All right, you guys come and clean up this lumber. It's right there. Like, there's a lot of lumber right there, and I know that's what you're waiting on to actually finish building the rest of this stuff. And then once that... Well, I think we can go ahead and just tear this out. There's enough housing available to them as it is. So let's get them to clean up all of that stuff. That will be good. That's next on the priority list. So they need the lumber to actually build that. So come on here and clean it up, please. It shouldn't take you but a few seconds to do so. You're bored because there's nothing better to do with your time. We're at 500 units of water again, which is quite nice. With the max of 690, nice. Water storage capacity, which is good for us. They replanted all this, but that's probably going to all be lost on this next cycle, which is not the greatest. But it will have to do. Probably rip this path out right here and then just put this path in like that. Probably put in another thing of storage right here for, let's call it baked potatoes. Bad tide. That's not what I wanted to see at all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Lumber. We don't have any lumber to do anything with. We don't have anything. What can we do? This is going to be another couple of days. This is all going in. This is fine for them to be working on, I guess. It'll have to be. Let's see here. 3 or 30 planks and 20 gears. We've got 27 gears. We don't have the planks. We do have the science. Let's see here. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also lacking in the lumber department in the first place, so I can't actually produce the planks to produce the water storage to actually do anything with it. So we're not going to build any more. I do need to build more. Hey, we're doing it. Yes. Max priority, this. Okay, you are paused. We have enough gears, so I just need planks to be produced. Planks, please. That should go in. Now that's going to basically it's going to give us another 300 units of water storage, which is basically half of everything that we've already planted or already have down as it is. So that's going to be quite beneficial to the overall health of the colony. However, that's probably not going to get done in time because it takes a couple hours to produce a plank, right? 1.3 hours to produce one plank. We need another 15 more planks to get this done. 19 more planks to get this done. So we're definitely going to be at a hard spot. Yeah, it's not going to be complete before the first bad tide is finalized or here. But it will be done before the next go. And these guys should be able to keep pumping for a couple hours during the next first portion of the bad tide, which isn't the worst. We do have a spare beaver. Probably get them in there to refill that while we've got some time and do the same thing over here, since we have water actively being pumped. So it's not a net negative, if you will, theoretically. We're at 699, 702 units of water. That's approximately 15 days worth of water available to us just for the beavers. That's not including the fluid dumps, which does draw substantially from everything. So that is going now. Okay, they've got a little bit more time to go on all that. Like I said, we weren't going to be able to get all the planks in there, which is kind of stinky. But everything's still moving. We've got food still. We've got water still. We've got these being filled up. And these guys are still pumping for what little bit that they can. The productivity is dropping. They're barely producing any water, but it's still water nonetheless. Probably get somebody in here to pick up these potatoes that are available to them, I guess. You focus potatoes. They're right there. Get after it. Why not? Y'all probably can't pump any more from this anyway. So you guys are paused. Go get our science moving. We're back up to almost 750 science. There we go. Contamination has destroyed what's left of our trees here, which stinks. I should put in some sort of irrigation system over there. Yeah, the game still doesn't run the smoothest at times, but the FPS, I'm looking at it doesn't look too bad, honestly. I'll call that a win. I will call that a win. All right. Let's see. Planks are moving. This is in, so that is helpful. Those are done, so you are paused. There's no reason for you to be there anymore. I'll probably just go ahead and tell you guys to stop planting here anyway. There's zero need for any of that to be planted. Just stop it. All right. Now we've got all of that in. I need a place to start producing carrots, which means that we could probably get up here and start laying this like that. We've already got a little alcove back there, so that gives us a 3x3 area in there. They should be able to reach all that. I'll probably give this a priority bump over anything that's happening on this side. They are actively working on this, so that is helpful. So theoretically, before the next bad tide, we should be able to get this in. Now, what I would love to have happen before we did anything was actually get in our sluice gates under here and do sluice gates like this. So good water just pushes out, and then the bad tide rises up and goes out this way. Or we could just block it off in here, but then it doesn't have an escape route or anything, so it's not quite helpful in any way, fashion, shape, or form. Do we just focus on that instead of... Yes, we're going to focus on that. Instead of doing the triple floodgates, we're going to go sluice gates. We have time. We've got the food. We've got the water available to us. We've got 10 days worth of bad tide going, so we're going to come over here. We're going to get into the metal, and we're going to actually get sluice gates going. We're not going to wait around and try to play with levees. So let's go ahead and do that. We are hurting in the planks department. Yes, we'll burn the science. As long as we don't drop below 600 or 400 science. Wait. Metal, that's 300, that's 250, so that's 550. By the time we get over here, we should be at in excess of 900 science, so yeah, that should be fine. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do this. We're going to rage across there. I want to cut across like this. Do this. We're going to crawl up right here. This is going to eat through some planks, some serious plank burnage, but we should be able to get up there. Boom, 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 boom. Free stairs, free shabakadoo. I love it. Cool. So that is in. Planks are a lymphac. But we have lumber moving. We don't have lumber moving, but we have planks being produced, and that's all that really matters. We need another 250 plus another 22, so 272 science, which we have plenty of beavers doing that. We still have 2 beavers with nothing to do, 6 beavers with nothing to do. Which means I don't want to get anybody into there. There'd be no... Well, I could... That's 4 logs right there that we could take advantage of. Could get over here and get these logs, but they'd have to burn planks to get across there without getting these guys sick. So I'm not going to play that game. That's worthless to me. We could come over here. There's a lot of lumber over here. That's not a lot. Okay, you're bored, so you're fired, Triforce. Thank you for your patronage. Let's see. We can get somebody in there to help out a little bit, I suppose. It still gives us 2 spots with nothing to do. You don't need to be dumping our water out into the ether. Same for you, my bud. I have too many beavers. Okay, so that means that we are going to open up the hauling post. Hauling post. Give that a priority bump. It's going to eat through what little planks we had and logs we have. I need to drop this priority-wise. See. Yeah. Well, at least they got that in, so that's fine. That's a few logs right there. That's going to be available to us. There we go. That's a lot of lumber right there that just popped up for us. And that's even more that's about to. Even more that's about to. Oh yeah, we're about to be flush with logs again. You love to see that happening. It's almost as if it's planned. It was totally planned that way, guys. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, alright? Yeah. I'm gonna move you. Be a little closer so you don't have to go nearly as far. Give that a max priority. And probably help out, actually. Let's go ahead and put in another one. We have a few beavers with nothing better to do with their hands right now. I don't dislike it. We could probably get more science workshops up and running, but we don't have the lumber for that anyway, even though this is all popping up right now. But I don't want to waste it. It's not quite what we need it for. Once we get this up, then all of these beavers with nothing to do with their hands will have something to do with their hands. They'll just be hauling stuff everywhere, which will be quite beneficial for everything, which means our pumpers don't have to run water back and forth between themselves and all of the storage stations and so on and so forth, which would be quite nice. Cool. We've got 6.5 days of bad tide left to us. This should be more than enough water to keep that irrigated for that duration, and same for that, so that is totally fine. I do want to give this a priority. I don't need to give that a priority over anything else, though. I do want to drop this priority-wise and give this a priority bump, actually. So that's that. That's all dependent on planks, though, due to the fact that, well, lumber's kind of at a standstill. But these guys are working their tails off, which I love to see. We got Jay, Kimmy, and Zurzex doing Zurzex and Kimmy and Jay things. And that'll be good. That means lumber's moving in, which means planks are moving in, which means we can start building our stairs, which is very good for all of the things. Sweet. All right. Could probably even do a builder's hut, but I don't quite feel that that's necessary quite yet. Workplace, we'll drop that down to the lowest priority. Water is holding strong at 350. Should be enough for the final 5 days. We do have more beavers than I originally walked into this bad tide with. That's fine. Do we need these two? Probably not. Do we need that one? Probably not. Do we need this? Yes. But we can do this over here. Logs. Give this a max priority. And then go ahead and not rip that out because there are logs right there. So let's have them clean this up. That'll get us carrots and logs. We do have carrot storage down here. That's more than enough for what we need for now. This is going in, so that's more potato storage for us. And that's our primary sustenance for us as it is. Let's see here. That can't get all required materials. That's just waiting on lumber. Lumber is moving in again, like I said. This is all popped up. You guys don't have... All right. So now you guys should be able to unload all of your material into there pretty quickly, which means all of this gets processed faster, which means this fills up faster, which also means I can tear this out right here and then go ahead and throw in another storage pile for lumber. Let's do that right there. That'll be fine. That should meet the intent. We're going to exceed the capacity for this thing here pretty quickly, I feel. Did I not mark that for cutting? I did not mark any of that for cutting. No wonder they haven't been touching it. No wonder. That explains a lot. Let's go ahead and unmark this stuff for planting. That's just wasted time for our forester when it comes to the planting season. But that should be fine. We've got one body with nothing to do. Go ahead and get them in there, and then that's filling up. Lumber's filling up, which means planks should be filling up. Let's go ahead and... Do I not have logs over here, storage for you? Do that. Go ahead and set that to logs. Let's hit this obtain button. And you're a supply button. And give this a priority. So that those get built by our builders who are sat on their bums. Let's raise the priority on the science stuff because we do want that moving sooner rather than later. This is moving in, so that is beautiful to see. That shouldn't be an issue for us. That's definitely not going to be an issue for us. We could take advantage of this, though. There is power potential up here. Just a matter of feeding it down here. That's the problem. But that's fine. That is fine. That is fine. I need more power, though. We could process the metal up here. That actually isn't a bad idea. Now, I understand that this is quite a ways away from everything that we need it to be. So we could probably put in like food and water storage up here and put in our smelter right here. I need power first before we put in the smelter. So that should be okay right there. Probably let's go potatoes, water, power. Obviously, it does power things. Can we fit that right here? Can they reach that? They won't be able to reach this, but they should be... Well, it's going to take them... They won't be able to build that until they actually get up here and start tearing this out. So this should be built before they get to this, theoretically. Well, no. They'll get to that before they get to this, because that took a... Yeah, that's how we'll do that. 4 more planks. That should fill up the last bit of that right there, which means that is going swimmingly. How are we doing water-wise? This is running pretty low. We're on our last day, though, so I think we can turn this back on without being too concerned. We can start thinking about probably turning this back on, too. That's going to dump out a couple units of water for us, which isn't the greatest, but we can also pause 2 of these. That'll get more haulers for us. We still have 4 builders, which is more than enough for what we need it to do. They are building the water wheel here, which is helpful for us. That is going to get completed before those guys do. Now, this will be good for bad tides and for temperate cycles. There'll be power moving through there during that entire time. Water is moving again. So let's go ahead and unpause all of that. That just pulled from all of our hauling posts, which is stinky, but it is necessary. We could probably pull down on that side right there. Food we're doing just fine on. I want to replant carrots somewhere, but I don't really have a place to do that quite yet. And I don't really need it. I don't think it provided that much in the way of a boost in happiness for our beavers in the first place. So we'll avoid that. And I need you guys pumping water. Alright, so what we need is to prioritize by haulers all of these positions. Probably prioritize those 2, since they have the furthest to run. And I just ran out of beavers again, so that's not cool. Okay, boo. Did those get filled in? No, they did not. Did this get done? No, it did not. Let's see. We pull down, let's pull down on builders. We can get haulers moving so we can get water moving into the colony a little bit quicker, which will be much more beneficial than anything else at this point. Survival takes priority, guys. Remember that. Remember, food, shelter, fire. Those are things that you need to ensure the livelihood of your beavers. If you don't have those things, well, you're not going to have very many beavers for a very long time. Let's go ahead and put that right there. I have an idea for this. I want to put that right in there. And do something like that. Not like that. Well, something like this. Then we can put this in. Look at that. It just fits in there so snugly. Look at that. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. Then we put path. I think we can probably pull that out. There's no need for... Well, there is a need for that. There we go. That is awful. Well, there's no need for this to be right there. This can be right here. That'll line things up. This is a silly, ridiculous thing, but I want to do it. So that's going to be good right there. That can get done when it's done. It doesn't really have a priority timeline associated with it. They should be able to effectuate that without too much of an issue either. And we could even do a little something like this. Put that right there and then toss on another thing of water storage right here. Click that button, bada bing, bada boom. Water is not being pumped nearly as fast as I'd like it to be, and we're already day 4 into cycle 6. I need water faster than this. So you guys do not need to be actively dumping our water out right now. So you guys can go haul. And we now have scrap metal. We got Jay and we got Sus making scrap metal. We have water wheels, or a water wheel in already. So that is good. We can do that right there. I love it. I love it long, long time. We need more beavers. We need more water for more beavers. Means we need more gears. So that means we unpause the gears. We have scrap metal moving. We could probably pause one of these guys. There's no need to be doing that. Are they working on this again? No, they are not. So let's go ahead and plan this out, though. We have the science available to us. Go ahead and start putting this in. So I want to put this in right there. Yes. And then we can put in our levees on top. Nope, that's not where I wanted that. Pause, 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 pause. I need an escape route above it. So that means levees like this. Like that. That's what we need. So that's going to eat through our planks and our metal blocks, which we have no metal blocks of yet, but we have scrap moving in, which is helpful, which reminds me, that I need to put in storage for scrap and storage for metal blocks right here and right here. And that shouldn't be that much of an issue for them. The problem is the planks and the gears necessary to build the smelter. My goodness, I do not recall this taking that much in the way of planks and gears. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a priority bump and this a priority bump. That will make their lives a little bit nicer up here, and that should be good. We have another drought or bad tide on the way, which is not good. We don't quite have the storage for this, so we are going to give this a max priority. That's going to eat through our planks. Again, we're going to run into a situation where we don't have the gears or the planks produced in time to get this in. However, we will endeavor our hardest to ensure that it is in. Now, a smart person would probably expand our water pumpers a little bit. However, I've never claimed to be a smart person, so we'll just accept what happens. Planks are moving in already, so that's good to see. Gears are not being put in there. They are being put into here, so that is good. We need another 9 gears. Which these take a hot minute to produce, 3 hours to produce 1 gear, which is so excessive. It's so long to produce 1 gear. So we're probably not going to get this completed in time. But it will be complete for the next round. But we have 900 units available to us. Go ahead and plus up the work hours because I want them pumping water for as long as we can. Now, I could probably make their lives a little bit better by putting in like rooftop terraces and campfire places that would actually help them out and speed up their work. It increases their productivity, which I probably should do sooner rather than later. It's always a good idea to do that. I am hearing a very loud truck outside of my house. It's kind of obnoxious, and I apologize if you hear that in the recording. Alrighty then. Alright, gears. Cat's producing them slowly but surely. We need 6 more gears. It's probably not going to get completed in time. We need 5 more. And it's gonna be another 15 hours in game. We don't have that in a day left available to us, but it will be done soon-ish. That's all that matters. You guys are pumping actively, so that is good to see. We have 800 units of water available to us, which is great. That is going in. That is going in as well, and that is fan-freaking-tastic. Now, how are we doing on this up here? We have grilled potatoes going in. We have water going in. We have metal blocks. That storage is not complete yet. And I still haven't diverted the bad tide yet. I still would love to divert this bad tide, but we're still not quite there yet. And I hate that. But it's okay. We're making do. We're surviving, okay? We're surviving. We're not punting the bad tide off yet. This just takes time. Just takes time. Lots and lots of time. And I am here for it. Now, it doesn't help that we're exceeding our power requirements. That kind of stinks. Yeah, that's probably why things are going so slow. That is why things are going so slow. But we need them both running anyway. We could probably snag one of these two guys anyway. 13 days. We should have more than enough water and food for 13 days. You guys are bored. So let's unpause that one. That will help out the power a little bit. So it should increase capacity a tad bit. Probably throw in another one of those, but we don't really have the space available to do that. So that's fine. That will produce gears for us, which will then in turn go into our smelter up here, which means we probably got to do something about our well-being. By that, I mean medical beds. Because the smelter is going to eat our beavers alive. So let's burn the 80 science, get that in, and let's go ahead and start doing some well-being stuff. I don't want to build up here because that's where we have a future farm going. But we can do that down there. That's relatively cheap entertainment for our beavers. Let's go ahead and just cut that across right there. And we'll clean this up in the future, but for now that will do. Then we could do something like this. Maybe? Well-being, rooftop terraces, boosh and boosh. Like this. There we go. I like it. I like it a lot. You are no longer needed there. There are no more berries. We have 60 berries available to us, but nobody's eating those. I could put this as a priority. That would just require planks and logs, which we have an excessive amount of, but we are not doing the hottest on water production right now. This did get finalized though, so that is good. We'll have a place to store all the water in the future. We just don't have the capacity to do anything with it quite yet. Lumber is in a good spot, so that is good to see. This is being built now, so that is also good to see. We need an additional 39 planks. Mathing in public, yes. 39 planks, 15 more gears, which we have running, and then once we get the gears in, we could probably pause the gear workshop and keep this just running here. Hey, wait. All right, let's click on this. Yeah, we're missing 50 units of power. Where could I trying to think. Let's do this. Let's do that. I know this is probably a waste, but I can do what I want. Go ahead and give this a plus up and give that a plus up as well. That way we can save a beaver to go do hauling things or building things. We don't have to get that guy going. And then we can clean up this little line right there. Now, this is almost in. It's brilliant. And with this, it's doing 77. So that'd be 150-ish. 154 between the two of them, right? Am I mathing correctly in public? Something like that. That went in really quick. So that's 80. So that's, yeah, 157 between the two of those. So that will be helpful. Click that button. Have them come over here and build that real quick. That should be relatively simple for them to do. And that will provide us a fair amount of juice so that we can pause Caxlib here so that they can go do something else productive with their time. I do want to give this a priority because we do want that finished sooner rather than later. This is not really high on the priority list. This is high-ish on the priority list because I do want to get this in sooner rather than later as well. All right, come on. Where are we at? Where are we at? Science is moving though, so that is good to see. Next thing on the list that we need to knock out. One, I want to move this up and out of there sooner rather than later, because this is not going to cut it for our total requirement as far as lumber is concerned. This is where we're going to do more food, because this is not going to meet the demand as we continue to expand our beaver population. So this is why we're moving up here a fair portion of foodstuffs. And we could probably even do the same up here. We could just make this into a forestry area, which wouldn't be bad considering this is going to be in the future a large lake, or small lake. It's not going to be a large lake, small lake. All right, gears are in, so that is good. We have the scrap metal. We just need planks. We don't have the planks completely there yet, but we can, however, click that button there, get this done. And that means that that will increase our total power production, meaning that we could pull this guy out. That means that we can get more haulers moving, which we can now. Network supply versus demand. We're still 20 short, but it's better than it was. So now, yeah, 92% better than it was. It's not the best, but it'll work. It will do. Let's see. Uh-oh. Whoa. Hey. Let's save our crops here, guys. I'm sorry. That was almost a mistake. It's okay. We caught it. That's all that matters. Okay, we've got 500 units of water left. We've got 7 days going in. We've got 22 beavers. Yeah, we should be fine water-wise. I would like to start moving towards our wood workshop. It requires a tapper shack because we need... No, we don't. Well, we do need a tapper shack. Do we do science first? I'm torn. Science production would be quite nice. That gets us moving along the tech tree a little bit faster. But getting the wood workshop up means that we can get into the large water pump faster, which means we can save some of our beavers because it produces so much more water so much more quickly that it's quite helpful during the short temperate cycles. I'm torn. All right, so we're going to mark this for not cutting. And go ahead and unlock the tapper shack. Yes. There we go. All right, that's 500 science. Gone. And not forgotten. But puts us closer to the wood workshop. And maple syrup, actually. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We got Malty in here doing smelter stuff. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We are nowhere near meeting the power requirements, though. Holy bananas. Oh, the water wheel is not cutting it. Okay, that's awful. Okay, well, let's see here. That's 80, 100, so we don't need to. Theoretically. Yeesh. Yeesh. 4 days left. We've got 200 units of water. These are full now, so we could pull them out of there, so we're not dumping water anymore actively. Planks are being produced. Gears are being produced. Water's not being produced. This is going in, so that is good to see. That's going to be a water dump here soon, which is not the greatest. That is going in slowly. That's just waiting on planks, which are being turned into gears actively, which is not beneficial. We can remove this. There's no need for that to be in there anymore. So that's some lumber back for us. I think that may have actually had some food in there still too, right? Yep, just all lumber. That's fine. Let's see. 3.5 days left. Bad tide wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, which is a good thing. Those planks are almost done. That is good to see. We can actually go ahead and just chuck this in since they can reach that from the side, and then that shouldn't be a problem for anybody. That is going to eat through our remaining logs that we have on hand, which kind of stinks. There's not much that we can do about that. You're going to have to accept that for what it is. But metal blocks are being produced. That is the good thing. We just need lumber. So maybe we do lumber up here as well as food. I'm not opposed to that idea. I'm not opposed to that at all, honestly. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do half lumber, so this half will be lumber and this half will be food stuff. I feel like that's more than enough food stuff. Foodstuffs. So let's go ahead and give this a priority bump. Like, we are producing metal blocks, but not nearly as efficiently as I'd like, obviously, because we're not producing enough power to meet the requirements. The logs are a concern, so let's go ahead and max this out. That is priority numero uno. That's going to eat through what little planks we have left available to us. However, that will be fine, because food and lumber are limfacs for us currently, and we don't want to be in a position where they're perpetual limfacs. We don't like living in perpetual sadness. We can go ahead and just remark this for cutting. We're nowhere near getting the tapper shack unlocked or built yet, honestly. So we'll just go ahead and mark that again. We need the lumber more than we do need anything else right now. And that is going in. So that is good to see. That is going in as well. That's just all waiting on planks. You're waiting on logs, which there are logs right here. So we can go ahead and just max that out. That'll get us those in. That will get that finished off. We'll pull this down priority-wise so that they don't compete with that stuff. We'll give that a regular priority so that I'm not fighting competing priorities. And that'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be good. Allegedly. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself so I can feel better about my life decisions or Beaver's life decisions. I did not realize the efficient farmhouses took so much logs. My goodness. I do not play the folktales nearly as much as I should, apparently. Well, there's reasons for that, but I'm not getting... Gotta play with those reasons right now. All right. Lumber. Okay. You do not need 3 in there. You... Alright, foodstuffs. Let's go... I need to see how far out this actually goes. Kissy Kitten, do Kissy Kitten things for us, please. So let's pull this down to 1. Pull this down to 1, that's already at 1. Pull you down to 2. That's already low. Let's, that is well irrigated, so that is good to see. So we can make carrots out to there. Do some sunflower seeds right to here. And then we have plenty of potatoes on the other side, so we could just make this the rest potatoes right here. And then on this side, let's empty this, and I want to put a storage container right here for the grilled potatoes that are totally unnecessary right there. All right, let's go pine for now. Pine here. Boosh. That is good. We'll just go ahead and rip that out. If we lose 2 berries, we lose 2 berries. Let's go ahead and put this in right here. That will be our grilled potatoes, and we're not going to accept goods there anymore. Those are already in. That's great. That's brilliant. Let's pull that down to 1 and unpause all of this, which I should have done a day ago. That is moving out. That is fine. Let's swap this over to grilled potatoes. Let's see about... I don't want to pull that out because we need that in. Do we need... Alright, you guys need to pump water. You need to be pumping water. I just realized that they went that entire bad tide at working 22 hours a day, which is not good. Not good at all. Boo. I am a terrible beaver overlord in that regard. I do apologize, guys. I'm sorry. But now you have to work more still because I need to keep you guys alive. So, sorry, not sorry. I'm sorry. I think we can get by with just 1. Go and rip that out. And go ahead and fill the rest of that in, and that'll be brilliant. That'll be huge. That'll be a great... Oh, they've already put the first one in. Sluice Gate 1 is in. Sluice Gate 2 is in. I want that not to be turned on. Close. Well, let's just leave this in the open position for now. There's no reason to have it in any other position until we get the rest of the stuff done, which requires a lot of lumber, which we don't have a lot of. Okay. We need more beavers, though, which means expanding beaver population, which I'm not quite ready for yet. Do we pause you? No, because you're producing our food for us, which is absolutely required. Well, what do we do? Where do we pull from? Well, we'll have those 4 to pull from here soon, I suppose. Let's see. Need you guys to pump faster. I'm going to pull it back down to 20 hours. Feel like they are consuming more water than they're actually producing at this point. I also need to turn... Oh my goodness. That needs to be turned back on. That needs to be turned back on. So much needs to be accomplished. Let's pull this down to 1. I'm okay with this being slow. Kind of want to pause you since we don't need metal blocks right now. We could put irrigation barriers down now, right? Right? Landscaping contamination barriers. It just requires planks and logs. I mean, planks and metal blocks. We don't really have that much in the way of planks right now, so it's not going to be long-term helpful for us. So I think we'll pause X on that line of thinking. I feel like by the time we'd get all of them placed anyway, we'd have this entire system up and no longer a problem for us. That's going to be a problem for us, though. Okay. Huh. Let's see here. You don't need to be in there right now. You need help. Need water. So we need to actually increase our water production. More water, please, and thank you. Max prioritize that. And we should have enough lumber for that to go in. And we'll pull from somewhere to get that finalized. We need water. We need water pumping faster than what we're producing it at this rate. We've got 2 days left to fill up another 800 more units of water, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that much water, but also the droughts are getting longer. The droughts and the bad tides are getting longer, which is not conducive to a thriving beaver population, you know. And I'd like to have a thriving beaver population as much as beaverly possible. We don't need you in there right now. Thank you for your patronage. You can go over here and fill that in, though, because that's going to be a problem. As well as this is going to be a problem soon, too. So, Kimmy, get in there. Go do something productive. Kissy Kitten, go in there. Go do something productive. And we need to solve the power problem that's about to be an issue for us. Okay, so let's go ahead, plus this up. Jay, get in there. Go help Cubes. Go help Cube. Okay. Go do the things. I should probably make their transit a little bit easier. A lot of it easier. 0.8 days left. Max priority out. Max the priority out for workplaces as well. That should help with the water pumpage just a tad bit. We'll help out with priority for hauling. Let's pause the building for now and get haulers moving. Water that should be better for us in the long haul, at least for now. And we'll be able to pause these two down here as soon as the drought kicks off, because, well, I don't need to pause them for now, honestly. Yeah, we could train this entire thing down here. None of our crops are reliant on this right now, since they're all off-grid or off-river crop. We're off-river cropping right now, so that's good. Yeah, you guys pump away. Fill up them tanks. Do it. Just rage. Rage against the machine. Dry it out. Do the thing. Make me happy. Go. Rage. Rock on. Party on, Garth. Wait. Don't worry about that. Okay. Logs. We have logs. I have this pause, so that's why none of that's getting built. So that's totally fine. These guys will continue to pump until their heart's content. That's filling up. This we can unpause. Get that in there. Let's rage. Let's rage on. I love it. I love it a long time. And I hope you guys love this episode. We made some progress. We unlocked a lot of things. I broke into metal a lot faster than I normally do, which is fantastic. We got our first sluice gates in. We're moving forward on lumber. We've got this moving now, so that's going to provide us a bit more stronger source of lumber in the future, at least temporarily. So we can get this moving a little bit quicker. Need to solve the power problem. Power problem is going to be a problem because these guys are sat in their bums doing nothing right now. This guy is already paused, but that's where that's at. So we're going to have to get over here, put in some windmills, which I believe are already unlocked. Question mark? No, they are not. They're 120 science. But that requires planks, which we have, and logs, which we also kind of have. So that's what we're going to have to do next episode. Planks and logs and planks to produce power. Power to produce more logs and planks and gears and metal blocks. And get lumber moving. I want to finish this in the next episode. 100%. This needs to be done. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bad spot. And I don't want to be in a bad spot. So, if you guys like this episode, hit that like button. I would appreciate that. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate that as well. We are encroaching on that mythical number of 1,000. Slowly but surely, ever so slightly. And I hope you enjoyed our first endeavor thus far into the Hollows. I'm enjoying the map. It's a beautiful map. It's a lot of fun. It's a challenge. I like the challenge, and we're solving it. The puzzle is being solved, slowly but surely. We have so many water containers. Anyway, I digress. You guys have a fantastic day, wherever you are in the world. Keep rocking the free world. Do all the fantastic things, and make sure you remember to keep yourselves nice and hydrated. Make sure your beavers are nice and hydrated. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Timberborn Z. I'm out. See ya.